It's inevitable that when you start KDP, you are going to make mistakes. That's part of the journey, but hopefully some of the things that you hear in today's video will help you to avoid some of those really unnecessary mistakes and help you get a really solid foundation to your KDP journey. Hey lovelies, welcome back to Project Rich Mom. For those of you that are new here, I am Gemma and I create videos all about personal finance and my personal journey to securing a better financial future for myself. I hope that everyone's okay. As always, drop me a comment down below, let me know where you are watching from. I love to see how far and wide these videos spread, and let's get into today's video. I was thinking about my own KDP journey, mistakes that I made, things that I've seen other people do, and questions that I've had in my previous videos, and I came up with 5 common mistakes that newbies make on their KDP journey. The first one is creating books that have been created 1,000 times before, and I've spoke about this in previous videos. Sometimes there can be an impression that you can just make a very basic notebook with a very basic cover and it's going to sell hundreds of copies, and it's just not the case. I'm sure there was a time where people could just slap a picture of a unicorn on a solid pink background and upload it as a notebook and it would have sold really well. Unfortunately, now there are thousands and thousands of that type of book. There is no way that you are going to stand out if you are creating books that are already on Amazon. And that's why it is so important to be unique and to be creative when you are designing your covers. Sometimes it can be something as simple as going with a different color, choosing a different color for the theme. Let's stick with the unicorn example. The pink background with a picture of a unicorn. Now, it's highly unlikely that if you create something with a similar theme that you will ever break to the top of the Amazon search page, and your book will just sink to the depths of Amazon, never to be seen again. But what about if you created something that was more grungy or something more alternative? You went for a black theme with a unicorn, something that was more edgy. That potentially would set you aside from the crowd. Obviously, you would need to do your research and see how many books there were with that kind of theme. But do you understand what I'm saying? There is absolutely no point in creating books that already exist, particularly if they've been around for years and years and they have tons of sales and tons of reviews, because Amazon's algorithm will simply push that book to the top of the search results and yours will get left behind. And so it's a waste of time for you. Now, carrying on from that theme, the second mistake that I see people making is relying too heavily on the YouTube KDP gurus. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not here to bash anybody. There are some wonderful, wonderful videos that will teach you the basics of how to run your KDP business, how to do your keyword research, how to use design tools, for example, and all of those are very, very important. But if you are relying on videos that tell you which books to make, which niches to make books in, which keywords to be using, then you are kind of setting yourself up to fail. If you are only waiting for your favorite KDP YouTuber to release a video with suggestions of categories and niches that you could be making books in, then you are always going to be playing catch up rather than leading the way. Think of it this way. If you're watching a video with 50,000 views on it that suggests or recommends a type of book that potentially could sell very well, that's 50,000 other people that potentially are sitting at home making that book as you're watching it. Even if that was like a really untapped niche and it could make money, it's now going to be absolutely flooded with thousands of books that are probably all going to be very, very similar. So a better use of your time is to learn, how did that YouTuber come up with that niche? How did they find that gap? And then you are able to then take control of your own journey. So really make sure that you take the time to learn the basics of KDP, how to do all of that kind of research for yourself. And then you can just, if you still want to watch, your favorite KDP YouTubers videos suggesting categories and stuff. You can watch it to support them, you can watch it for inspiration, but you won't be relying on them. Now, mistake number 3, and this is a mistake that I made myself, is timing. And by that, I mean uploading books with a certain theme at the wrong times. Now, in most businesses, the year is split into 4 quarters. So quarter 1 is January, February, March. Quarter 2 is April, May, June. Quarter 3 is July, August, September, and quarter 4 is October, November, and December. Now, by far, quarter 4 is likely to be your best earning month on KDP, because during quarter 4, you've got Halloween, Christmas, you've got Thanksgiving in the States. There are multiple times during that period when people are looking to give gifts and to give themed gifts, which makes it very easy for you to tailor your books to each theme that you can find during quarter 4. But there is no point in waiting until quarter 4 until you upload them. So right now we are in July, we are just into quarter 3. I, for example, have just started working on my quarter 4 books. I have just created some Halloween type puzzle books for kids, and I will be looking to get those uploaded pretty soon. You need to make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to design, to research, to create, and then ultimately to upload, ready for when people are going to start looking to buy those specific gifts. Really need to make sure that you have your books uploaded in plenty of time so that people have as much time as possible to be able to order them, because obviously with those theme books, they have a very short period of time during the year when they are actually likely to make sales, and you want to maximize that. So mistake 4, and I think it's something that you don't really hear a lot of people talking about, is copy. That is, what are you writing in your description box that is going to make people want to buy your book? There is nothing that looks more amateur than a poorly written description, or a description that is just a couple of sentences, or is poorly punctuated, or the grammar's not great. So it's really important that you learn that skill. So it's important that you take the time to research how to write a really, really great description. Because sometimes, if you're just making a basic notebook, the temptation is just to write a very basic description, because it's a notebook at the end of the day. Really, how much can you need to write? It really does make an impact on your listings, because it makes the whole thing look much more professional. So take some time. Go and look at other books. Look at books from publishers who are traditional publishers, so not the KDP published books. Look, how did they write their copy? What kind of descriptive language are they using? How much text are they using? And then use that as your inspiration. And last but not least for today, mistake number 5, and one of my bugbears, is the cover design. I see so many times when I'm scrolling through Amazon, and it makes my soul cry, is when you see a book that the cover has elements of different styles. So it'll have, let's say for example, somebody's done a jungle themed notebook, and they've got a clip art giraffe, then they've got a watercolored lion, they've got a tree that's smaller than the lion. It's all of those things that just make something look very, very amateur. So pick a style, pick a theme, and stick with it. Of course, you can change that when you change books, but make sure that what you are creating looks right. You've got to watch out for, it's not just a case of slapping several different images and going, that'll do, and putting it online. Nobody is going to buy that. And I don't say that to be mean. I say that because I want you to learn and I want you to do well. But nobody's going to buy a book that looks like it's been made by a kid in school. Now, I get asked quite a lot by people asking whether they should use their own art. If they are graphic designers and stuff, can I do this? Yes, absolutely. Where possible, draw your own things, illustrate your own books. If you're an artist, fantastic, use that skill, because that already sets you really far apart from everybody else. I try and do as much of the design work myself as I can. And then what I can't do, I try and match up my style with something on Creative Fabrica. Now that is a very, very difficult way of doing things, because trying to find two styles that blend in together is, can be quite difficult. I've been doing this for a while now, so I have several artists on Creative Fabrica that are my go-to, because I know that their style is very, very similar to the stuff that I create. So therefore the two things kind of go together very nicely. But ask yourself, once you've designed something, is this all the same style? Are the dimensions for things right? And a great way of doing that is by creating something and then leaving it and coming back to it later on when you've got fresh eyes. If you have enjoyed this video, guys, please remember to give it a big thumbs up. The YouTube algorithm loves that. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all in my next video.